Hello children, welcome back, and today's topic is slope of parallel lines and perpendicular lines. In this coordinate system, let us take two parallel lines as L1 and L2. Children, we know that why we are taking the slope of non-vertical line. If you take a slope of vertical line, then it will be tan 90 degree, that is infinity. That's why we are not taking the slope of vertical lines. So these two lines L1 and L2, right? And the inclination of the first line let us assume as alpha. And what about the slope of the line? Yes, it is tan alpha. If the inclination of the second line is beta, then what about the slope of the line? Yes, it is tan beta. So m1 is equal to tan alpha and m2 is equal to tan beta, and we know that the inclination will be in the positive direction of x-axis, right? Now alpha is equal to beta. Why? If you apply the fundamental of transversal, the corresponding pair of angles will be equal. That's why alpha is equal to beta. And what is alpha? Yes, it is tan alpha. And what is beta? It is tan beta. And tan alpha is nothing but m1 and tan beta, which is nothing but m2. So m1 is equal to m2. In case of parallel lines, the slopes are always equal to each other. You can take any number of parallel lines, the slopes are equal to each other. Now moving to the slope of perpendicular lines. So in this coordinate system, let us assume two non-vertical lines, that is L1 and L2, and these two lines are perpendicular to each other. If the inclination of the first line is alpha, then what about the slope of the first line? Yes, it is tan alpha. If the inclination of the second line is beta, then what about the slope of the second line? Yes, it is tan beta. Are you able to observe a triangle? What type of triangle it is? Yes, it is a right angle triangle, because these two lines are perpendicular to each other. And this angle beta with respect to this triangle is an exterior angle. So we know that the exterior angle of triangle. Let's learn about the exterior angle of triangle. The exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of two opposite interior angles. So beta is equal to alpha plus 90 degree. And what is beta? Beta is nothing but tan beta is equal to tan of alpha plus 90 degree. And this tan alpha plus 90 degree can be written as minus cot alpha. So tan beta is equal to minus cot alpha. And again this cot alpha can be written as 1 by tan. So minus 1 by tan alpha. So tan beta is equal to minus 1 by tan alpha. And what is tan beta? It is m2. m2 is equal to minus 1 by m1. Tan alpha is m1. So if you write it as m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So in case of two perpendicular lines, if you multiply their slope, it will be minus 1. So m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So let us conclude, in case of parallel lines, m1 is equal to m2, and in case of perpendicular lines, the slope will be minus 1. That is m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Children, let us see one problem here. The inclination of an angle of a line L1 is 45 degree. Find the slope of the line L2 which is parallel to L1. Now the question here is, we want to find the slope of the line L2. Children, we know the basic formula, m is equal to tan theta. Suppose if the inclination of the angle is 45 degree, then what about the slope of the line? Yes, it is tan 45 degree. Tan 45 degree is 1. So if m1 is 1, then what about m2? Yes, it is also 1. So m1 is equal to m2. So in case of parallel lines, the slopes are equal to each other. Now you can try this in your home. If the inclination of the angle is 30 degree, of the line L1 is 30 degree, find the slope of the line L2 which is parallel to L1. Now the question is yours. Children, let us see one problem based on perpendicular lines. Here the two lines L1 and L2 are perpendicular to each other. Calculate the slope of the line L2. So we want to find the slope of the line L2. Before that, we want to find the slope of the line L1, and there are two coordinate points, right? So we want to find the distance between 2 points. Let us find that. So m1 is equal to, the formula for the slope of the line joining between 2 points is m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So the slope of the first line m1 we get minus 9 by 4. And what about the slope of the second line? We want to find that. So we know the formula for the perpendicular lines of slope, m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So m1 is minus 9 by 4 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So m2 is equal to 4 by 9. So this is the slope of second line. Hope you have understood. We will see in the next video. Bye.